I genuinely don't understand how you can look at the situation and be like, how dare he talk back? Like, at all.
With the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Vice President J.D. Vance jumping in to berate Zelenskyy.
Have you said thank
I hate him so much. I just like I hate everyone, but I really hate JD Vance. Like the way that he came in and be like, have you said thank you once? Like, and his bitch ass, have you said thank you once, was presented by the White House as a flex. It's just like, it's so incredibly lame and gross, especially because, yeah, he did. Okay. The very fact that Zelenskyy is even sitting there is because he's there to grovel. Like, you already know the power dynamic in this circumstance. Like, what do you mean? Have you said thank you once? Like, yeah, dude, he did. He did multiple times. What do you want him to do? Like, what do you want him to do more? Like, get down on his knees and start sucking like JD Vance does? Is that what it is? There is not more bowing down that he could do, okay? The very fact that he was like, I don't want to do a mineral deal. And then a week later, he's like, we are going to sign mineral deal. A week later, okay? After Trump called him a dictator, said he ain't shit, said he sucks over and over again, said he was responsible for his country getting invaded, all this stuff. Like, he's already there. He is already proverbially sucking it and also trying to do his very best. Like, he desperately obviously needs a ceasefire to and American support to continue. Well, since you put me on blast, I mentioned I'm coming back from a 1BA and apparently coming back worse. I'm going to stick up for myself because you guys are the ones that are annoying. I was just trying to talk about the original woke is a drug thing. Why is this annoying? Dude, I don't know if you're going to understand this. The reason why you're being annoying is not because you have a just cause and people are undermining it. It's because you're being selfish. Okay? This is something that people like individual chatters sometimes can't comprehend. You know, think about this like a group of friends, okay? Think about the chat room like a group of friends. I'm going to very quickly try to explain this to you. Imagine if the group of friends have moved on to a different subject matter and you're still holding on to the previous subject matter, and then someone in the group gently tells you, hey, we've moved on, okay? Just, don't be annoying. And then you turn around and make the conversation about your feelings. Right now, you're making the conversation about your feelings. Except this is not just a group of friends. This is 20,000 people, okay? This is an arena full of people. And you're literally going, please talk to me about my own personal feelings. This is why you got probably banned last time around as well. So I urge you, please, whatever, fine, bye, it's fine, sorry. No, it's okay. People do it all the time. But you understand the dynamic in this community. I obviously respond. I see pretty much everything, okay? I see pretty much everything that's going on in the chat. I really value the back and forth that I have with chat. And sometimes people turn around and try to make it about themselves a little bit, okay? I love you, chatters. It's okay, sometimes you get in your own way, okay? Let's get back to this.
War III.
Vice President J.D. Vance jumping in to berate Zelenskyy.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Zelenskyy.
Have you said thank you once? He has. Okay? Not only is his appearance there on this day to sign this mineral deal the endless thank you, okay? But also on top of that, he did say thank you directly numerous times. But this is not about thank yous. Or rather, it should not be about thank yous. Okay? It should not be about thank yous at all. It should be about, like, this conversation should have taken place privately. Okay? And under different circumstances, regardless of party loyalty, regardless of whether it was Republicans or Democrats, this conversation does take place, usually. It just takes place behind closed doors. The very fact that it happened in front of a press pool is crazy. Like, your ego is inconsequential in the matter. Like, what are we doing? That we're just now doing foreign policy on the whims of like a narcissistic madman? It's crazy. And I still don't believe that is what is going on. I can't believe that the American machine could be at the mercy of one psycho. You know what I mean? Like one psycho in his like thin skin. That's insane. It's wild. And I think that they will course correct eventually. But having said that, it is still shocking that this took place in the way that it did. I guess I should be more in an I told you so posture, because normally these kinds of conversations do take place. Normally these kinds of assurances and this kind of back and forth and this kind of negotiation does happen. It just happens behind closed doors. And then on the optic side, on the public facing side, America and our allies are like this, right? And then leftists are the ones who are supposed to say, no, you don't understand. This kind of conversation, there was a lot of back and forth that happened in this negotiations process. Ukraine wants more. America doesn't want to give it to them because America doesn't give a shit about Ukraine. And then every liberal is supposed to yell at me and say that I'm a campist, tanky Adolf Hitler lover for saying it. But because it happened in broad daylight this time around, there was virtually no way for liberals to deny the reality that they're seeing. This is in many ways, with the exception of the optics of it all, the back and forth, the underlying sentiment, the lack of interest in giving everything that Ukraine is demanding to Ukraine and simply using them as cannon fodder against Russia because they're stuck being invaded by Russia and are desperate for our resources and our help is precisely what has been going on. Okay? That's precisely what's been going on. The only difference is like Trump is accelerating it in the more reactionary direction as he has done so far. And he's doing it very publicly. Doing it very publicly changes how soft power dynamics work for America and our allies. Okay?
Unable to reset the tone.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
The White House blaming Zelenskyy for the blow-up. Trump kicking Zelenskyy out, canceling the press conference. Zelenskyy abruptly leaving without signing the deal for Ukraine to share its mineral resources. Later, Zelenskyy declining to apologize to Trump, but telling Fox News he's grateful.
I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in the struggle.
This was really interesting. Part of the reason why it was interesting is because you have to go on Brett Bayard to talk to Donald Trump and possibly the entirety of the base of support for Donald Trump, which is crazy, right? In and of itself, even if you're a foreign nation's leader, even if you are the leader of a foreign nation that was invaded. Okay. So that in and of itself is already wild. Okay. But what's also wild about it is that I think Zelenskyy falsely assumes one of three different things. Either he has a misplaced faith in European security partners carrying Ukraine to a better position of defense without the United States of America, which I think in the long term will not be successful. Or he thinks that the American public is not unimaginably selfish and will actually listen to reason, because he didn't stand down on Brett Baer's broadcast. He did not apologize. He didn't stand down. He just straight up was like, he just said it like it is. The situation on the ground is terrible. We obviously need support from America. I'm the president of my nation. I'm not going to, let my people be undermined. He took a bold stance. He took, dare I say, an idealistic stance. Okay? He was very honest about it. He was very honest about the situation, but I don't think he understands that showing conviction like that is not going to move the needle for Americans. It's certainly going to piss off Donald Trump even further. And because he's an absolute sociopath, I feel like he's just going to respond in the worst way possible to this. Okay? But then again, he's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because he also has political pressures back home to worry about as well. He obviously can't grovel and beg as Trump regularly tries to humiliate him. And even outside of everything else, even if he were to grovel and beg, as he has done within the confines of reason, there's no assurances that Trump will play ball. If that makes sense. No, I do understand the position he's in. He has no practical option. No. That's precisely what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is literally nothing he can do in this situation. This is a horrible, horrible situation to be locked into. Okay? So, I don't know. I don't know what happens from this point on, because Trump is so petty, even though foreign policy still moves in whichever direction, regardless of what Trump's statements are. And we've seen that with the way he's communicated with Israel, right? About Israel saying, like, you can do whatever you want, go kill, we're going to ethnically cleanse Gaza or whatever. And then Steve Witkoff will come and play the role of cleanup to be like, he doesn't mean it. Like, he just wanted our Arab partners to get more involved in this deal or whatever the fuck, right? Like they'll always like end up playing catch up. After the fact, they always will sweep for Donald Trump and try to fix the posture and make it seem more reasonable when it's not. But like, with respect to Russia and Ukraine, it's obvious that even if Zelenskyy was super pro-Trump, which he has been, I think Trump simply doesn't care. He wants to bully Zelenskyy to posture as a very strong man. Ested had a really interesting take on this as well. Yeah, my immediate thoughts, this direct-to-consumer politics is core to the White House appeal, same as televised cabinet meetings. Also, huge gap in media coverage of Zelenskyy, positive and moralistic, and plummeting voter support for Ukraine aid. Course correction was politically overdue. Never seen anything quite like this, says David Cleon. This is the kind of exchange we read about from high-level leakers who were in the room, but they're carrying on like they're not surrounded by the press. Wild. So that's why that was what was so shocking. It wasn't shocking that Trump was like bullying Zelenskyy, okay? Because that is how we treat our allies. That is how we treat our proxies. Because the reality of the matter is, we do hold all the cards in this situation, right? I'm not an avid viewer, but this is the dumbest take I've ever heard. Okay. You can maybe elaborate on why you think it's dumb or what your opinion is, and we can work on that. But he needs to eat his ego. Dude, he did eat his ego. You're wrong. Zelenskyy already ate his ego. Zelenskyy appearing here today to sign a mineral deal that he said he doesn't want to sign initially was already him eating his ego. And Trump took advantage of that and used it to further undermine him. That is my point. Like, he was there to kiss the ring. Like, what else is he supposed to do? He's stuck. He needs American help. Okay? Oh, Lex Friedman. Wait, Lex Friedman deleted. Wait, Lex Friedman deleted his post. I said, I want a ceasefire and wished for Biden to secure one when Ukraine had max leverage and libs called me an Adolf Putler lover for years. Zelensky came to sign a mineral deal after Trump called him a dictator and falsely blamed him for Russia invading his country. You are dick riding. And then he deleted the tweet. It was because he had this like long tweet about how he's like, I just want peace and I think Zelensky did the wrong thing. He made a follow-up. I regret engaging in the political dumpster fire of the Trump-Zelensky meeting. I simply want to do my small part in building bridges and pushing for long-lasting peace. I'll try to focus on that through long-form, nuanced conversation with people on all sides. I love you all. Yeah, the amount of disrespect President Zelensky showed to Donald Trump and the American people today was insane. This was a mistake. I have tremendous respect for President Zelensky and the heroic actions he took in the early days of war. I genuinely don't understand how you can look at the situation and be like, how dare he talk back? Like, at all. Like, do people not understand the dynamic leading up to this moment? Do people not comprehend, like, how much dick eating Zelensky has had to do up until that moment already? Like, what are we talking about? Donald Trump literally called him a dictator, said he was responsible for his country getting invaded, said he's going to take all of his natural resources, said that, you know, we've been giving you so much money, you're a failed comedian, yada, 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 all this shit. And Zelensky still, obviously, understandably, because he needs American support, came to the United States of America to sign a fucking mineral deal that he didn't want to sign initially. And then in that very moment, Trump is like, no, you stop talking. And they kicked him out. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. You have to be so hopped up on cult fumes to look at this dynamic and be like, yeah, Zelensky really fucked up here. Like, what is he supposed to do? What more can he do? What more is he supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, this is ridiculous. I did not think he was being disrespectful. I think that I did not think he was being disrespectful at all. Unless you thought that he was supposed to get on his hands and knees. He was being disrespected. He was being disrespected endlessly. And he still was just there to kiss the ring to the best of his ability. And I think they still, like, I think that they, you know, still very obviously wanted to use this as an opportunity to completely destroy him, to shit on him. Zelensky should have done his homework. Watch Fareed Zakaria explain how to handle Donald Trump on real time. No, all of these guys are wrong, okay? Do you want to know why I think all of these guys are wrong? Because they're making it seem as though like this is a Shinzo Abe situation. Shinzo Abe, beloved by Donald Trump, was always demonstrating fealty to him, okay? Always. He was one of the few American allies that from the jump was super pro-Trump. When all of the other European allies were shitting on Trump, he was there by his side, okay? R.I.P. Shinzo Abe. Now, that is a different dynamic, though, because Donald Trump already thinks Zelensky is an op. Okay? Donald Trump already thinks of Zelensky as an op. He does not see Zelensky as a asset, even. He thinks that Zelensky is a fucking op. He thinks Ukraine is lib shit. Okay? He thinks Zelensky should have given him blackmail so that he should have never lost to Joe Biden. And he is an op from day one, okay? He's an op from the last time. And he thinks, perhaps because of the unimaginable amount of support, mostly from the Democrats towards Ukraine, that he and his base attribute Ukraine to liberal nonsense. Like, they think Ukraine is just lib shit. It's crazy how you profit off this bullshit. Whew. I'm a political commentator, brother. I don't know. Maybe you'll understand it one day. That's just kind of how it works. Profit off the shit. Runs no ads. All the revenue comes from voluntarily people subscribing because they want to support the show. Okay? Doesn't even monetize most of the content. Allows his fans to monetize it to the best of their ability. And you're over here still fucking complaining, still chirping. Go yell at somebody else. Anyway, JD's like that weak kid on the playground who always asks, are you going to let him say that about you, trying to egg on a fight? My Ukrainian friend says Zelenskyy should have been smarter and a better diplomat to understand that Trump is a mad king kind of president. I get that, which is why I thought he would have apologized on Brett Baer. Okay? Dude, as a Ukrainian, I expect our president to do whatever it takes to save lives here. If he cannot endure some verbal remarks, he's not doing his job wrong. If they say to bark, he should bark. Okay, people are dying, useless assaults here. No, I understand that, guys. I do. But I'm telling you, the situation, at least for Zelenskyy with Trump, is a little different. Okay? I think that Donald Trump is thin-skinned enough to basically, even on the in the interim, even aesthetically, ruin a deal. Okay? This doesn't mean that it will always remain that way. But I do think that Donald Trump, I think we all understand Donald Trump is insane. Everybody gets that, okay? But I think Donald Trump's attitude here is completely, it's completely unacceptable.
In a strange way, I do feel like Zelenskyy should have studied this a little bit more. He's an emotional guy. I've met him many times. He's very brave. He's been fighting a war, and he let his emotion get the best of him. The way to have gone in there is first.
Dude, I'm sorry. People fucking... How is this happening? How am I the guy who's saying, after years and years of guys like Fareed Zakaria and all liberals yelling at me saying I love Adolf Hitler and I hate Zell Disney, how am I the guy defending Zell Disney and these guys are defending Donald Trump? What is going on?